Hi, this is BreiEndia and my 90-day self-journeys retreat in 808 Tavern. Excuse my voice. And this is video 2 to extend on this day of self-revisiting. Ultimately, I wanted to be sure to try to elaborate. So this is day 6, and this is June 29th, 2020. So the videos that you'll see of the different pictures, I just wanted to kind of give a brief synopsis of like what you're looking at. So like I said, I go by 7-year increments in my chapters, as I am in chapter 4. You won't see probably everything of this chapter, but for the most part, I've closed out a lot of the cycles and everything of my past. So ultimately it is the past. So moving forward, there's going to be a lot more that this journey will bring to the table of mine, or that I will bring to the table of my journey. And so I guess the highlights of the different things that I've done in my past were like, okay, so the dancing. I actually really enjoy stripping. Like I said, I enjoy being social, so I just love the dancing part of it, being active. I didn't really sleep a lot, so having something to do at night, and I was making money. Money wasn't the only thing, but I mean, that was the reason I was doing it, to save and, plan for paying for school and having places to go. And that's how I made extra money. As well as funding some of my habits, which I no longer engage in overindulging in like alcohol, liquor, marijuana. I never really was into tobacco, like cigarettes or anything, but, just certain drug abuse type situations. I am done with those things. Now, when it comes to smoking marijuana, I may revisit that sometime in my life, but right now I just don't want to have any attachments to anything, because I just want to feel like I am in control of my body and whatever I do. And that's that's a form of an attachment. I was never truly attached to it. I was more attached to liquor and alcohol, and that's like a thing that I realized what helped me break that was seeing how much that was a thing in my family. And I was just like, for health reasons, as well as for the fact that I'm a woman and I want to have children, and I don't want to have to suffer with a lot of issues as I get older. And because I've, gotten my body to this point in this journey where I've depleted those things, and I'm comfortable, I'm cozy, I feel good when I wake up. I don't have heavy, sluggish energy on me. I'm not I don't title myself as a vegan or a pescatarian or a vegetarian or any of those things, simply because I pick and choose when I want to have a steak dinner or whatever. But that's because I'm working on formatting my diet and my plan. And since last summer, it's been becoming easier for me to just be adjusted to how I'm eating, when I want to eat something specifically or when I don't. And as well as the fact that I've been incorporating working out and just staying active, I can balance it all, because, a good run in the morning, especially because I'm doing it now so often, it's keeping me energized, and it's keeping me, keeping my body good and just cozy. And I don't need the support of somebody to run with me anymore. I don't need the support of anybody cheering me on. It's just me cheering myself on and feeling comfortable doing it, because I know that it's helping my health and it's helping my body, and my mental. So you'll see some things about, like I said, the highlights, just family reunions. You might see some, because like I said, I went to Louisiana. I met family down there. That was like one of the most fulfilling things ever. Prom. And my prom date, he actually passed away last year. I found out this year he passed away in March. So rest in peace to Kenny. He was a really close friend of mine. We went to prom together as a group. It was a last minute thing. He's like, hey, you want to go to prom together? We did, and knocked it out. His family, my house was the last house after the prom, before the prom, that all of the families came to, and we took pictures together. So you'll see it'll be 3 sets of couples, me and my date and our friends and their dates. And we just had fun as a group. It was a really good time. And ultimately, that experience would never be forgotten for me. And that was my senior year. So senior year was big for me. I didn't, because we moved around so much, I didn't know everybody like the whole span of my life or anything. Because we moved from the Eastern Shore to back to this side of to the other side of the bridge, by Baltimore, and we were still living in the county. So ultimately, I went to school with people that I didn't really know that well, who probably knew each other longer, but I was still embraced by a small group of people who I went to. We went to Ocean City for this thing called Senior Week, and it was just the most fun I can ever express in my life. And we did all kind of crazy stuff, but ultimately you'll see some pictures, just brief moments that we had. I like museums, so we went to a few museums. You'll see museums that my family went to. I like just visiting places. I love the beach and dipping my body in the water, which eventually I anticipate doing this summer before it closes out. But that's all in due time. But that senior year was a big thing for me, because I finished school. I felt like, oh, this is done. And then of course college came after that. So college was another ball game. I'm gonna have a few things about my college experience, because I was working 2 jobs while going to school and living home. I had chose to, after the first year and some change of college, as well as my senior year, because I took a few college courses my senior year and got a little idea of how it was by going to community college during my senior year of high school. So because of that, I researched the military, and then there was a woman that I consider my aunt. She took me in when, me and my father had our differences and I was put out, and helped me get into the Army. And that helped me to cover myself through school. And I was working at the hospital, so it helped me to I had a lot of nurses who were like mentors, who actually encouraged me to do more than just nursing, which is why that was when I had determined that I wanted to be a doctor. And because I have a lot of natural beliefs, because of, having smoked marijuana at 13 and different things like that, I started to research natural medicine. And back then it wasn't that expanded yet on this side, on the East Coast of the U.S. So I had to do my research, and I, came across Dr. Sabi, and there's a doctor in Japan that I came across, and a few it was a professor of mine who was from Kenya, who actually gave me a lot of insight on how I should be able to view things. And he was my economics teacher at Morgan State University. So ultimately, these things helped me to kind of establish the groundwork and the framework of where I was going, and to complete what I was doing, but to give myself some experiences. So you'll also see pictures of me in different places. Like I went to Oaxaca, Mexico, Taichung, Taiwan. And while I was in those places, I was able to visit the outskirts. So like Honduras and Mexico City. And then I visited Taipei when I was in Taiwan. And just different places other than what I was there for. I went to Mexico for education, Taiwan for health. And then there were other places that I did it in Dominican Republic. I went for a medical outreach program with volunteers around the world. Shouts out to that entire crew. We had a ball. I would never forget the fun experiences, as well as the learning experiences. The doctors that mentored me and the other students in the program were phenomenal. And all of those experiences I keep with me in my heart, near and dear. So then the other type of things that I kind of came across were just being able to kind of sort of see the creative part of me. Now, this is the part of me in my past that I didn't really embrace as much as I did the other things. But it was because I was, like I said, I had to grow to becoming not being ashamed of the fact that I wrote erotic literature since I was 11, and I was a romance person, and so I took my hard face off, because I am a love, lovey-dovey type of inner person. Although, just like anybody can, my attitude can pretty much get to 100, but I just prefer to keep my classy outer, unless I absolutely have to strip down to that ignorance, in which I typically don't, because I know how to control myself. The relationships I've had with people who help me, believe it or not. I'm going to be a person who sits here and honestly gives credit to any man that came in my life, because they were like really good friends. A lot of my boyfriends, actually, I looked at like my best friends, because we had real like relationships and fun times. And all the way up to the man that I first married, we were like friends for real. Like, we had fun, and he really brought that creative side out of me. There was a lot of guys I dated that were musicians, but didn't get to actually embark on that journey fully. And I encourage them to still write their music and still stay in their creative energy, no matter what job they have. Keep your job, of course. Work, save your money, take care of your kids, take care of your family, but don't lose sight of your creative abilities, because they're a part of who you are. Embrace those things, not because you want to make money off of them only. If that happens, that's a blessing. But understand that when you're given these gifts, these are things that are a part of you, and they do fill you up. And that's why I continue to write. I never stop writing, because that is a part of who I am. And, I do hope that someday I'm able to really just seriously share those things with the world, But ultimately, that is how I feel about the creative side of it. I was able to meet great people along my journey, meeting me and a friend of mine, we went to Las Vegas. I think it was 2014 or 15. I don't know what year it was. She probably knows better than me. But ultimately, we got to meet, 50 Cent, Dave Chappelle, LeBron James's manager. I think his name is Maverick. We met, we got to see Chris Brown and Trey Songz perform from backstage. Like, that's a good experience to have, I met Pharrell when I was 11 at a Haynes in Virginia. I'll never forget that. I got to meet Monique, the comedian from Baltimore, and Professor Ogilvy at Security Mall here in Baltimore. Got to meet the artist Dave East and his team, and the people that surrounded him were amazing. Uncle Murda when I was in Vegas as well, because he was with 50 Cent. And I don't know if I'm leaving anyone out that is big in the industry that I view as, they're all people who I can learn from. I can look at anybody's situation, especially through music. The point of, I feel, is with the writing and music is that a lot of people are telling their story. That doesn't mean go and repeat the story. That means learn from it, and then that is something that I just know as being a writer, is that I write the things that are already done, or that I no longer want to carry on me. So if I was to ever, become like a ghostwriter or anything like that, my music is my emotions that I put on paper, but not just emotions. It's things that I've seen, the things that I've experienced, the things that I view, and even imaginative things, imaginary things, because I'm a fictional writer as well. So ultimately, because of that, I like the fact that when sharing, you're able to see that you're not the only one who goes through things. You may not go through the same exact thing as the next person, but I like to see and hear people's stories and their testimonies, the good and the bad. That's why I shared the dark parts of me and the things that hurt me in my past, that I realized I had to just let go of, because I can't carry those burdens for the rest of my life if I wanted to be able to really live my life to the fullest. And that is what I do consistently in order to be able to do the great things that I do and travel and just have fun. I still have a lot of places I need to go. I definitely appreciate one of my exes, although we had a dark past because of the domestic violence. I actually still appreciate him, even because he took the time to take me places, to visit places, to see places of where my family was from, and just enjoy life. My first cruise was with him. And then the second relationship that I always embrace is he was an MMA fighter. He taught me a lot of things about self-defense and loving myself first, but always remembering God has me. And then my husband, I will never forget him bringing me back to myself and my creative abilities, and just really embracing the journey of life itself. So this is BreiEndia on my 90-day self-journeys retreat in 808 Tavern. And I just wanted to kind of give you a synopsis of the pictures and the journeys that you'll see through visual images. God bless.